So, Namaskar, myself, Dr. Vedvrat Tiwari. I'm teaching history in the College of Vocational Studies, University of Delhi. Today, the topic I'm going to present is Vedangas. So, what is Vedangas? This is the main discussion. Before I start discussing about Vedantas, let me tell you something about what is Vedas. So, Vedas are regarded as the most ancient and supreme source of Indian knowledge traditions believed to be apaurushaya. So, meaning of apaurushaya is that is not created by any human being. Rather, it is mantras are divine by nature, and it has been seen by our rishis, our sages, seers. So, why Vedas are important? It is believed that our human life has to achieve ultimately moksha, that is liberation. But how? So, it is possible through the Purusharth Chatushtaya, that is there are four pillars of the Purusharthas. One is Dharma, righteousness. Second is Arth, prosperity. Third is Kama, that is desire. And eventually Moksha. So, this is the way how we do through Vedic traditions. We go and get the knowledge. To gain a very thorough understanding of the Vedas, it is essential to study Vedangas. That means, if someone wants to well acquainted in Vedas, he or she must have to understand well acquaint himself or herself in the Vedangas. What are the Vedangas? Vedangas are actually the auxiliary discipline, auxiliary sciences of the Vedas. If we talk about the term Vedanga, it is made of two words. One is Ved, and the second term is Ang. Ved means we all know the sacred knowledge, and the Ang means limbs or the organs. So together it is called Vedanga. So there are six Vedangas in total. These auxiliary sciences support the comprehension and preservation of the Vedas and offer valuable insights into different dimensions of Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, that is ancient Indian wisdom. If we talk about the Vedas, there is a concept of Veda Purush, like the human being. There is an imagination concept of Veda Purusha, who is also having human-like organs like mouth, nose, arms, and limbs. It can be understand better from Parni Siksha. There is a verse that how six Vedangas are symbolically represent different parts of the body as a Vedic being, that is Veda Purusha. A shlok from the Parni Siksha. छंदः पादौ तु वेदस्य हस्तौ कल्पोत पठ्यते ज्योतिषा मयनं चक्षुर्निरुक्तं श्रोत्र मुक्ष्यते शिक्षाग्रहणं तु वेदस्य मुखं व्याकरणं स्मृतं तस्मात् संगमधीत्येव ब्रह्मलोके महीयते. It is categorically and clearly denoting the body shape of the Ved Purusha, that is Siksha, one of the Vedang Siksha, which is phonetics, is identified with the nose. Kalp, ritual practices, represents the hands of the Ved Purush. Vyakaran becomes the mouth. Nirukt, etymology. Etymology serves the ears. Then Chandas, which is a meter or the prosody from the feet of the Vedas. And Jyotish, which is astronomy or astrology, is considered as the eyes of the Vedas. Let me tell you, this is the a chart or a diagram which categorically denotes the different organs of the Ved Purush. Again, Siksha, nose, which is Siksha is about phonetics and pronunciation of the Vedic terms. Again, Kalpa is a ritual practices and ceremonies, how to perform yajnas, etc. Then Vyakaran, which is most important organ. Without Vyakaran, we cannot understand anything of the language. So, grammar and linguistic structures are given there in the Vyakarana. Then the Nirukt, etymology or how to interpret the words, that is called Nirukt, which is considered as the ears of the Ved Purusha. Chandas are significant because chandas are important in terms of understanding the complete length of the any hymn or the verse, which is considered as a uh, feet or the legs of the Ved Purusha. And again, Jyotish, which is eyes. Jyotish is still very relevant. We all think and talk about Jyotish in our everyday life. So, without mastering these limbs, these organs, these Vedangas, one cannot understand the Vedic literature. So, let me tell you one more thing. Vedic literature means not just four Vedas, but also Aranyakas, Upanishads, and Brahman text. The first Vedang, Ved Purush, which is considered as a nose, is Siksha. Siksha is phonetics. In general, we call Siksha means education, which is actually not the meaning here. With the special reference to Vedas, Siksha means instruction, initially referred to the teaching of the correct way to recite, how to recite the Vedic text, especially regarding pronunciation, accent, and intonation. So, intonation is also important. We have to understand the importance of how we have to pronunciate accent and intonation. Even if it slightly changes, then it change the meaning of the entire verse. Over time, it came to represent texts that codify the rules for proper pronunciation of Vedic scriptures. These texts, known as the Siksha Sutras, are treatises on phonetics and are nearly as ancient as the Kalp Sutras. The main role of Siksha is to define how Vedic syllables and sounds should be pronounced. Accurate phonetics is crucial because in the Vedic tradition, even slight variations in sound can lead to different meanings or effects. I have a wonderful example to tell you. There is an interesting shlok that is mantro hinaha swarato varnato va mithya prayukto natadarthamaha savaga vajro yajamanam hinasti yathendra shatru swarato paradhat. There is a text called Madhyamika Shiksha. This verse is taken from this text. So, mantrohino, a person is not having an idea of the mantra or the syllables or the varnas. So, what would happen? Then he would not be able to make clear sense of any sentence or any verse. And interestingly, I would tell you what happened when the mantras, when the hymns of the Vedic text were or pronunciated wrongly. A mantra, whether incorrect in accent or in sound or used improperly, does not produce the intended meaning. It is like a word thunderbolt, what you call Vaga Vajra, means that will definitely have a negative and adverse effect that harms the performer of the ritual or the what we call yajamanas, as happened in the case of Indra Shatru, where a mistake in pronunciation led to the opposite result. There is a story. It is said that there was a fight going on between Indra and Vritrasur. Uh, Father of the Vritrasur, Twasta, performed a yajna, a sacrifice, for the growth of his son Vritrasura. During this ritual, the mantra was Indra Satrur Vardhasva. It means may the enemy of Indra grow. So, enemy of Indra is Vritrasur. So, the father was performing this yajna for the success of his son in the battle. Uh, but unfortunately, Twasta took the wrong pronunciation. What he used the term, he pronounced as Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, which changed the meaning of the entire ritual, that it became may Indra become the enemy of the slayer. That means Indra, the entire recitation and entire this ritual went against the Vritrasur, and eventually as a result this mispronunciation, Indra became the enemy and ultimately killed Vritrasur. So, this is the importance of phonetics or Siksha. Siksha or the Vedic phonetics is the most vital, one of the important organ of the Vedangas. Some notable text or the Pratisakhyas are Rigved Pratisakhya. That means to get mastery in the phonetics of Rigveda, one should go through the Rigvedic Pratisakhya, then Tattri Pratisakhya, which belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. Vatsani Pratisakya, which belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. Atharved Pratisakya directly deals with the Atharvedas. Now come to the next second important limb or Vedang of the Ved Purush, that is called Kalp. Kalp is basically about performing rituals like yajnas and other activities which are directly linked with the physical, materialistic well being as well as spiritual upliftment. So, Kalp is also known as a Kalpa Sutra because it is all written in the sutra form, and this is the also it is called as the arms or the hands of the Veda because most of the activities yajnas we perform through our arms. So it denotes arms or the hands of the Ved Purush. It deals with the correct application of Vedic rituals and it is deeply rooted in the content of Brahmanas and Aranyakas. So, as I told earlier, Brahmanas are also important texts which are more into ritualistic aspects. So, without Kalpa, you cannot deal Brahmanas how to perform in any particular yajna because yajnas are 100 types or more than that. So, for particular yaj, you need to understand the entire process. So, Kalp were the first systematic manuals for Vedic rituals. Written in sutra format, they focus on sacrificial procedures and omit discussions that are not directly tied to ritual practice. In the ritual mantras, hymns, it is not always given every aspect. So, without Kalpa, you can't understand how to perform the rituals. So, Kalp Sutras are more practical than the Brahmanas, which often delve into mythology. So, do remember mythology means the spiritual and divine things we are talking about, not about any just stories, history, and theology. Kalpa texts are crucial not only for ritual understanding but also for studying ancient Indian society and culture. So, please do remember that Kalp Sutras are very crucial in terms of understanding the historical and cultural activities of the Vedic and later Vedic period. Kalp Sutras are divided, or we can call there are four branches of the Kalp Sutras. First one is called Shrauta Sutra. So Shraut means itself is about Shruti or the performing yajnas. So basically, Shraut Sutra deals in the large yajnas, rituals, and two important Shraut Sutras are Rig Veda, Shraut Sutra, and Rig Vedas are Ashwalayan and Shankhayan. Now come to the next, Griha Sutras. These sutras are the guideline for the domestic rituals ceremonies like sanskars. There are 16 sanskaras are there from before the birth to the last rites. So how such any of the sanskar has to be performed, ceremony has to be performed. So through the Grey Sutra we can learn it. So actually each Veda has its own Grey Sutras. Among the Ashwalayan and Paraska Grey Sutras are notable. Now come to the third, Dharma Sutras. Dharma Sutras are basically dealing with the religious and societal laws, detailing the duties and responsibilities assigned to each of the four Varnas. They also impart principles of Rajadharma, which emphasizes the moral and ethical obligation of the king or a ruler. So a ruler cannot be can't rule based on his whim and fancy. Rather, he has to follow the dharma, Raja Dharma. So it is also mentioned in Dharma Sutras. Uh, Dharma Sutras have a very long history, and the most oldest one is Mano Dharma Sutra, which holds the distinction of being the oldest and forms the foundation of the Manusmriti. Uh, Although it is no longer in existence, several other significant Dharmasastras, sutras are remain. Among them were the Vashishta Dharma Sutra, Vaikhanas Dharma Sutra, Hiranyakesha Dharma Sutra, Vishnu Dharma Sutra, and Apastambha Dharma Sutras. One of the very interesting and important sutra is Shulva Sutra, which actually explain geometry and mainly useful in the making of the fire altars. Uh, Fire altars about their dimensions, their measurement. They provide the only surviving record of Indian mathematics from the Vedic period. prescribing the precise geometry needed to build sacrificial altars whose shapes were believed to invoke specific divine blessings. So that means you cannot perform any ritual, any yajna, without having the clear understanding of the shape, size, dimension of the fire altar. So for a particular deity, you need to you need to prepare triangle or hexagonal. All these differs from one deity to other. Uh, Bodhayan Shulba Sutra and Apastamba Shulba Sutra, Manav Shulba Sutra, and Katyan Shulba Sutras are the most notable texts, are known and hold significant mathematical importance. Interestingly, all these four Sanskrit treatises appended to the Yajurveda, each refining altar geometry concepts and bricklaying techniques. These texts demonstrate an early ritual driven origin of rigorous geometry centuries before Greek formalization. Uh, Shulva Sutras provide historical precedents for the Pythagorean theorem, land surveying methods, and astronomical alignments in Indian tradition. So, do remember that it is not that it was the Pythagoras who first figured out Pythagorean theorem. Rather, our sages, our ancestors had have done this hundreds and thousands centuries before. Now, come to the third most important Vedang of the Ved Purush, which is Vyakarana. So, Vyakarana is generally known as a grammar. Definitely, it is considered as the mouth of the Ved Purush. Understanding grammar is essential for interpreting the Vedas. Although the original Vedic text on grammar are lost, references to grammatical rules are found in the Aranyakas. The most significant surviving text in the Astadhyayi of Panini, a work that, despite belonging to a later period, became the definitive text on Sanskrit grammar. It is not aligned with any single Vedic school but gained prominence due to its clarity and systematic approach, outshining earlier grammatical works that have since disappeared. So, what is the purpose and what is the importance of Vyakaran in the Vedic tradition? It is very important to learn. See, Vyakaran focuses on how words are formed by examining roots, that is, Prakriti and suffix Pratyaya. Panini grammar is composed of concise rules, that is, sutras, known as Panini Sutras. Here, one important aspect I would like to make. It is believed that the origin of the grammar was not done that easy way. Rather, it has a interesting story that Lord Shiva, Nataraj, or we also call him Maheshwara. So, Maheshwara Sutras have 14 phonetic aphorisms or sutras traditionally said to have been revealed by Lord Shiva, Maheshwar, through the sound of his damaru. They form the foundation basis of Parani's grammar. That is, 14 sutras are not derived by Parani, rather, it has a divine origin. It is said that Lord Shiva, when he played Damru, then 14 different sutras revealed, and that became the basis of Sanskrit grammar. Many scholars after Panini they worked further on the Panini's Astadhyayi, like Vararuchi, who's also known as a Katyayan, Patanjali. Uh, they have done a lot after the Panini's Astadhyayi. It is also important to know why study of Vyakaran is so crucial with a special reference to Vedas. Sage Katyayana offered profound insights into the importance of Vyakarana or Sanskrit grammar in the preservation and interpretation of Vedic texts. He viewed it as a more than a linguistic discipline, he saw it as a spiritual instrument essential for understanding the Vedas. So, he provides a sutra, five important aspects why one should learn Vedic Vyakaran. First duty is Raksha, that is preservation. Vyakarana protects the purity of the Vedas. Without grammar, Vedic meanings risk distortion. So, like if someone is not having complete idea or understanding of Vyakaran, so the interpretation of the Vedic hymn may go wrong. Second important aspect is Uha, that is ritual adaptation. Many mantras appear without proper grammatical structure. Grammar helps interpret and adapt them correctly during rituals. Third is Agama. To get complete authority over scriptures, it is important to learn the Vyakarana, which highlighting the foundational role of Vedic learning. Laghu. Laghu, that is a brevity. So we get long sutras, long hymns. So to precise the expression of complex ideas is also important, and that can be done through the uh, grammar. Next is asandeha, or the clarifying doubts. When interpretation becomes difficult, Vyakarana provides clarity and resolves confusion. Sage Patanjali reinforces these views by stating that only one who understands the evolution of sounds and tradition can truly safeguard the Vedas. Grammar ensures clarity and correct interpretation of Vedic text. Hence, grammar is an essential tool for achieving human goals. As knowledge of Vedic meaning, ritual performance, and joy arising from the Upanishads are essentially the fruit of grammatical study. Now, the fourth Vedanga is Nirukt, which is also known as a etymology. It is considered as the ears of the Ved Purusha. Uh, Etymology is the explanation of why words are used in certain ways in the Vedic text. It helps uncover the intended meaning of Vedic words and expressions. According to Mahabharata, Nighantu is one of the uh, earliest work on etymology, the compilation of Vedic words, which was done by Rishi Kashyapa, who is also known as a Vrishakapi. The only surviving classical text in the field of Nirukta uh, is done by Yask, which is the commentary on Nighantu. The Nighantu, traditionally attributed to Yask, is divided into 5 lists and 3 sections. Those 3 sections are general Vedic words under thematic categories, difficult or ambiguous terms, names of deities grouped by their domains like earth, sky, heaven. Yask explained these lists across the 12 books. Of particular interest is the part covering the first, second, and seventh books, which serve as an introduction to Vedic studies. He also mentioned several earlier grammarian like Galav, Shakpuri, and Kathakya. Nirukta holds immense value. It represents early scholarly analysis in the classical style. It is the oldest systematic approach in Vedic etymology. Yask emphasized that without Nirukta, the true meaning of Vedic hymns can't be fully grasped. Every Vedic word's etymology is treated by Nirukta, a discipline whose very name means etymology. Nirukta holds that each word must be traced back to its root, that is, dhatu, and explains terms by identifying those underlying roots. It teaches that all words are etymological, formed from some root or dhatu. The grammarian Shakatyan likewise assert that every word derives from a root because this root based approach Nirukta is genuinely scientific. What modern linguistics began to formalize only in the last century, Vedic scholars had already laid out at least some 3,000 years ago minimum. Acharya asks opines that a complete understanding of Vedas requires mastery of both Nirukta and Vyakarana. Both Niruktas, and Vyakaranas are indispensable aids. The primary function of Vyakaran is the purification of the words. Nirukta validates all the purposes of Vyakarana. Its chief distinction lies in the power of imagination. It continually strives to uncover fundamental meanings. The prevailing conclusion is that the expounding the shared aims of Nirukta and Vyakarana, the Vedas themselves comprise their integrated whole. Now come to the fifth chandas, also known as a chand, is also known as a meter or prosody. Chandas represent the feet of Ved Purush, symbolizing the foundation upon which the entire structure of the Vedas rests. Each Vedic mantra has its own specific meter, much like it has a particular deity. According to Nirukta, the term chandas originates from the root chad, that is, to cover. This refers to the way meter encapsulates the essence of mantra. The primary aim of chandas is to ensure the accurate and rhyming chanting of Vedic text. So you might have heard about some of the um, types of chandas like Gayatri, Anushtup, Trishtup, Jagati, etc. Though the literature on the Vedang is limited, some key texts include Rit Pratiksha, Shankhayan Shrod Sutra, Nidan Sutra, Chand Sutra of Pingla. Among them, Acharya Pingal's work is most important and very well known among the scholars. So each of these offers insights into different aspects of Vedic meter with some variation in focus and approach. The relationship between the meter, chand, and the word arrangement, Padabaddhata, is central to both classical and Vedic poetry. In classical poetry, meters are strictly syllabic, counted by number and pattern of syllables. Vedic meters are not bound by simple syllable counts. They rely on accent, intonation, and specific phonetic rules. Ancient sage tradition sometimes treated prose or the gadya as a metrical, blurring the line between verse and prose. Eminent authorities like Bharat Muni insisted that no literary work, whether it is poetic or dramatic, was valid without a proper meter. Now come to the Jyotish, which is the sixth organ and also treated as the eyes of the Ved Purusha, the organ of sight of the Ved Purusha. Its purpose is not to teach astronomy in modern scientific sense, but to provide knowledge of celestial bodies for determining the correct times of performing Vedic rituals. Jyotish offers methods for calculating ritual timings. References to astronomy appear in the Brahmanas, Aranakas, and even Vedic hymns, indicating an early understanding of lunar and celestial movements. Unfortunately, no complete ancient text in sutra form survives. However, a small handbook titled Jyotish Vedang exists in two recensions generally attributed to Maharshi Lagad. Though brief and challenging, it remains crucial for scholars. In later period, extensive work on astronomy and mathematics were written by scholars like Bhaskaracharya, Varahmihir, and Aryabhatta. The principles they describe continue to influence modern sciences. Jyotish is one of the six limbs of the Vedas and plays an important role in rituals and timings. It is knowledge considered sacred, eternal, and instrumental in harmonizing life with cosmic principles. It also helps in understanding the positions and influence of celestial bodies in shaping destiny and karma. In ancient times, each of the four Vedas had its own dedicated Jyotish text. However, over the centuries, the Jyotish text belonging to Samveda has been lost. The surviving Jyotish texts of the remaining three Vedas are follows. Rig Veda has Arch Jyotish, Yajur Veda has Yajush Jyotish, and Athar Veda has Atharva Jyotish. Now, let me sum up you. After all six Vedangas has its role, its importance, and how crucial it is to become master in the Vedas. If we try to figure out the significance and relevance in modern times, then it has a lot of importance. Like, first of all, if you see preservation of heritage, so Vedangas are very crucial for preserving the purity and integrity of the Vedic knowledge across generations. They act as guardians of this ancient wisdom. That means, if we do not have the idea of Vedangas, how we would be able to preserve the ancient texts, and it's a continuity. So it is actually heritage, a legacy, which is very important. So all of us try to preserve it. So one of the important aspect, preservation of heritage. The second one is it insights into ancient sciences. Studying Vedangas offers a window into sophisticated ancient Indian sciences, from linguistics and phonetics to astronomy and ritualistic methodologies. That means, when it comes to discuss about the astronomy, which is still the modern agencies and the modern world works on, already our texts provide detailed understanding about the lunar, solar movement, celestial bodies, etc. Apart from that, you will also find out the sciences it has. See, linguistics provides a complete understanding how a language evolved. Thirdly, mathematics, like, as I told earlier, Shulba Sutra provides detailed information of the how to measure. So whether it's a triangle, shapes, different shapes, circles, etc., or the bricklayer method, all these things are dimensions. Everything has been is provided by our rishis in Vedic text. So Vedangas has different definitely has ancient science. So all it is our duty to actually continue this legacy. Now, cultural appreciation. They provide profound insights into the rich Vedic culture and traditions, fostering a deeper appreciation for India's spiritual and intellectual legacy. In modern times, the Vedangas serve as a bridge to understand foundational knowledge system and cultural heritage. Let me sum up, conclude this topic, Vedangas. See, Vedangas, if we the general problems or the challenges scholars face is the limited access to rare text and expert guidance. Second is complexity of ancient Sanskrit in philosophical concepts. And third is need for interdisciplinary approaches to integrate traditional and modern scholarship. Further research and digitization efforts, along with the collaborative academic initiatives, are vital to make these profound disciplines accessible to wider audience. As we walk through the cosmic body of the Veda Purush, many our modern minds embrace the timeless limbs of knowledge. So, thank you very much for this lecture.